Thanks, Gabriel. I'm very happy to be here today with you, and also to notice that this creation of IoT Association Brazil, which already exists for some time, but we hope that we can collaborate more, as Brazil is very important also partner for you. I'm representing one project and also coordinating one aspect of in the cluster. What also happened in Europe that there are many research projects. Today maybe there's about 25 running projects representing quite a lot of million of research activity. And EU for some time is encouraging the creation of what we call cluster, where I think there's also some synchronization, coordination, and so on between the project. Even something which is new now for some time, when two projects are selected for be funded, before they fund the project, they come together for a common evaluation or common negotiation, and they try to adapt the project in order to limit not having any, let's say, overlap and so on. So I'm here with Alexandro Bassi, that will also present himself later on in the presentation. But what we aim to deliver today is not only from R2, but also as representative of the IERC, and you will see on the website and plenty of information that Internet of Things European Research Cluster. A lot of activity, a lot of also document. You will see books, you will see also strategic research agenda you can download, and you can have full information. Good news in Europe that everything is transparent and documented. That is much more difficult to get from every country. Like if I know what's happening in France, it's much more difficult, but by chance, due to all this project, we document it. I'm also coordinating the EU-China IoT expert group, and much more difficult to get information from China. And I hope that also through this association, we can also document more for helping us, because the more you know what you do, the more we know what you do, we can also collaborate. So we give you some overview about this cluster. So basically, also this type of presentation, just two other important persons that also are always in meetings and known in Europe. One is from the European Commission, which is Peter Fries, which is kind of Mr. Internet of Things in Europe. Is coordinating all the activities, and also is in charge of international liaison. He was disappointed not being able to be with us, but usually something he likes also to be with us. And you will see many times also the website where you can also get information. And the complete coordinator of the cluster is somebody from Norway. It's called Ovidio Vermeland. So I will try to present, I think, what is Internet of Things, what are some challenges, and also what we do at the IERC, the research cluster, and what the portfolio. So basically, what is the aim of Internet of Things is interconnecting the world. Maybe it's a bit old-fashioned now concept, because everybody, at least in Europe now, we even move forward about what is Internet of Things. Also, sometimes even Internet of Things is also seen as also to be smoothly integrated into future internet or other things, like for instance cloud and cloud on internet, and there's other challenge also that. But what is the challenge of Internet of Things is to move from a billion of people connect, in particular through mobile phone, to a billion of objects that we interconnect. Anything, anytime, anyone, any place. So an object can be a mobile phone, can be also a sensor, there can be also a person, can be a car, can be everything. And I think we see that also the challenge we are facing in terms of even privacy, social issues, or even in terms of technical issues due to the volume of information we have to deal with is quite important. The future vision is to also what of the challenge of Internet of Things is to break the silo. This is very important, because sometimes we still have to insist that we need to have some some concept and technique which are universal. We cannot have a mass market, and we cannot exploit the full potential of object which are likely to be cheap, because what is also the magic of that object itself is not to be an expensive one, otherwise it would be not delivering the full capability. But we cannot, we don't think that we could have an object for the transport, an object for health, an object for supply chain, an object for all the sectors. We need to find maybe as much as we can an object that can also serve, I think, many challenges, and also for energy, for services, for also what we call the Internet of People, the Internet of Services. So there is different parts, and I think we also can cover very different important areas, like obviously what are the business Internet, and what already we see the business coming from Internet, like the Facebook style of thing. We have also consumer, which is very big, and also the industrial, like addressing the supply chain, addressing aeronautic, and so on. So what is one of the challenges we have through this challenge of everything connected is also to have enough, let's say, intelligence, and that will deal a lot of challenge in terms of research. For instance, what we call context aware or other type of concept we need to have for this type of things. Also, even we look at the application side, what we call, for instance, the challenge in semantic to give the meaning of the object. We see that we have to have the object intelligent enough that can deliver the full capability, that can be adaptable to any situation. That is also very important. There are then a lot of details. We also have a lot of details. Then what are the consequence of that? Already what I introduced, that we need to then to work with very important, let's say, technical, let's say, feature into Internet of Things. Although today there's two schools and two type of camps. There is people that want to see the development of service using Internet of Things without talking about the technology. And I think that the web semantics guys, the web of things guys, the guys that are from the web, they say, as soon as we give where are the object and what I can do with the object, I will develop my application. Because there is people that want to have don't want even to care about the technology. If the sensor is giving me this information, and I know it is in these places, and you have, for instance, OGC. We saw yesterday a presentation about Internet of Things for agriculture using OGC standard, and I think this is one of the type of possibilities. However, in terms of the people working into the real object themselves, then they have to deal with a set of very important challenges in order to be universal and adaptive. Because first of all, the object itself has to contact with the network, but the network also has to be able to integrate, and there's a lot of discussion about what are the architecture needed for the object. And for instance, there will be a project, it's a 40 million euro project called FeeWare, which is a core platform of the future internet PDP, working, for instance, on that. All this network can deliver generic enabler, allowing anybody to develop the services. So we have to deal with this dynamic global network infrastructures, and the network itself might be also something which is also evolving, because we have also all the cloud and all the concept that everything as a service is emerging, so you can pay also the use of the network and on the service you use, and not to have. So when you talk about object, for instance, in cities and so on, this can be one issue. So all the object can work with dynamic network infrastructures. All the object is also self-configuring capability, can be plug and play, and also can be aware of the context. So there are many big projects to come later on that. For instance, one called Butler, which is working on this context-aware object, is very important. Standard interoperability, this is more my personal background also with my project. This is very important. That we see, I can tell you about success story, but also big failures. Big failures, sometimes we see the most fantastic technology coming from the scientists. For instance, I follow for years a technology was called ultra-wideband, UWB, and Intel and all the people, they create a forum, and they were supposed to deliver the mass market shortless wireless things, everything USB, wireless, and all that, camera and so on. And but at the end, they completely let's say, miss the interoperability and also in terms of frequency, but also the frequency allocation and so on. So if we miss the standard interoperability dimension, we might miss the complete business. That is very important. So we are all trying to do the necessary work in order to not miss that. It's very important. We are also, as I've already introduced you, there is also the camp between the virtual thing and the physical thing. That means that the real object, people want to work on real object, and people want to also give the virtual representation of that. And there is a lot of one project working on virtualization of objects in order to develop the services. We have projects like Semantic Cloud and others that is very important. The attribute to the object are very important, the seamless interface and so on. So there are a lot of important challenges. It's just a picture, but behind is a lot of research. And if you download the strategic research agenda, for instance, and also the book, you can download. I will give you the link later on, and we see the page. You can have all the details about what are exactly the challenges behind all of that.